Is to the Acting Premier. Acting Premier, under the McGuinty-Wynne government, Ontario has lost 300,000 good-paying manufacturing jobs. But that's not all. Not only are we losing jobs at an alarming rate, but for those who have jobs in Ontario's private sector, wage growth is dead last in the entire country. While workers in Saskatchewan, Alberta, Newfoundland and Nunavut are seeing wages climb on a yearly basis, Ontario workers' take-home pay remains stagnant and well below average. While your government has blown this off as a mere transition, in fact, only Tim Hudak and the PCs have put forward a plan to create jobs, grow our economy, and modernize our labour policies.
Where's your plan?
Minister, your government is simply limping from crisis to crisis. Why don't you have a full-time jobs plan for Ontario, and why do you believe it's okay for Ontario workers to be dead last when it comes to wage growth in this country?
Where's the plan?
Deputy Premier.
Thank you, Speaker. And I think the member opposite knows this, but just in case he doesn't, we've actually had a net increase of 474,000 jobs. So they can focus on the losses, Speaker, but those losses have been far more than replaced. In fact, a net gain of 474,000 jobs. And I think all of us were delighted to see the job numbers that came out last week. Speaker, what is passing strange, though, is this focus on the right to work for less approach of the party opposite. They talk about increasing income for people, Speaker, but they're taking an approach that has been shown time and time again to reduce income for people. And in fact, some very prominent members of his own party have come out against this plan.
Yes, they have.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Well, thank you, Speaker. Back to the Acting Premier. You can spin the numbers all you want, but the fact remains Ontario has lost over 25,000 good-paying manufacturing jobs since Kathleen Wynne has become the Premier. The Heinz plant in Lambton is just another example of your careless approach to the Ontario's manufacturing industry, and sadly, it won't be the last. Minister, while you were busy patting yourself on the back, Ontario's government unions like OPSU have grown by over 300,000 new members, while Ontario's private sector unions continue to face layoffs and job losses, losing 100,000 members over the same 10-year period. Minister, over those same 10 years, OPSU elitist Warren Smokey Thomas has forcibly extracted over $500 million in annual dues from his membership. Why does your government choose to stand with union elites like Smokey Thomas instead of the 1 million people who are out of work in Ontario today?
Right on.
Sit down, please. Deputy Premier.
Well, Speaker, again, strange. The party opposite is advocating further job loss. 2,000 nurses, Speaker, they want to fire. They want to fire 10,000 education workers. That's not a job plan that I don't think the people of Ontario want to see. But let's see what other prominent progressive conservatives have to say about your right to work for less plan. What John Tory says is, I don't think it's constructive right now. He says, I think it's probably the wrong thing to be advocating, and I don't even think it's going to be that good for the economy. That's your former leader, John Tory. But if that's not good enough, let's talk about Nick Kouvalis. I think you probably know, prominent conservative, Nick Kouvalis. He says, if PC members are largely split on right-to-work legislation, then this is not a winner with the general population. Speaker, the member opposite would know that Alberta under Ralph Klein looked into this and decided against it.
Final supplementary.
Well, Speaker, back to the Acting Premier. Acting Premier, as you know, union elites like Smokey Thomas forcibly extract hundreds of millions of dollars from their members without providing any disclosure or transparency as to where and how that money is spent. It is outdated practices like this that led to my launching our OPSU opt-out website this morning. OPSU opt-out is an opportunity for current and retired OPSU members to go online, leave their comments and feedback, and let us know why they want to opt out of their government union today. Minister, Ontario's middle class has been completely gutted under your Liberal government's watch. When will Ontario move forward, stop standing with union elites like Smokey Thomas, and instead remove unnecessary barriers to job creation and modernize our labour policies like Europe, Australia, the UK, and most of the United States have already done?
Deputy Premier. Minister of Labour.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I'm really baffled by the assertions that the member opposite continues to make when it comes to job creation in this province, because what he is talking about is absolutely a job killer, Speaker, in terms of what will happen in this province if they got to bring the right to work for less type of policies they continue to talk about. The facts are very clear, Speaker. If you look at the United States, where they are the states that they have right to work for less type of legislation, what we have seen that there's a net loss of jobs, there is a reduction in wages and benefits for both unionized and non-unionized workers, Speaker, and not to mention their weaker health and safety laws. We will not ascribe to those kind of anti-worker, anti-colonial policies, Speaker, and we reject their job killer plan.
Sit down, please.